All right, welcome back. So, this is going to be, I guess, our version of, you know, of wealth building Wednesday today. Because I'm not sure. This week is a little all over the place because I'm away. But we're just going to get to it. The dollar is now 1,700 naira. Okay, and a lot of people are having conversations around if Tinubu should be responsible for this or not. Right? Should Tinubu be responsible for the dollar hitting 1,700? Let me see what the official numbers are right now. Dollar to naira to dollar. Naira rates to dollar. Let's see what the official is right now. Okay, I guess it's dollar to naira rather. Dollar to naira. It's showing 1,493 on Google official right now. I'll just show you so we can be on the same page. All right. We're on cruise mode this week, so don't expect any fancy. Somebody's gonna come in my comment and say, "It looks like you're not prepared. You look like you just come to the show not prepared." Prepared kill there. Prepared kill there.
Sorry, yo.
Anyway, this is a reaction platform, so we just react and have fun and cruise. So if you're taking yourself too seriously, find somewhere else to go. Thank you. It's showing 1,000 naira, 1,493, which is official. Now you know the black market is going to be a lot more, right? But anyway, as of right now, people are saying 1,700, somewhere between 1,600 and 1,700. So that's absolutely terrible because obviously Nigerians import everything, including the food they eat, okay, including the pata they wear. They import everything, okay. Now that is precisely the problem, okay. Now, can we stop people from importing right now, today, in this moment? No, that's not how that works. It's not going to be that simple, because we're talking about the conditioning of a whole nation for a while. For a couple of decades, it's been happening like that, right? And it seems like the nation slept on itself. So they need to buy from other people in order to survive. It's just what it is. So sadly, dollar is actually trending on Twitter as I'm talking to you right now. I'm actually going to show you what I am looking at. You see where it says dollar is 1,700. Niger done hard. The least I can do is to assist. Okay, so I'm not sure what this person is showing. Dr. Usman Gugaje tearing Tinubu and his government into shreds, despite Sheun's best attempts at deflecting him. Baba no agree for anybody. Everyone will become obedient sooner or later. All right. So people are looking at this event right now to determine if it's time to be obedient. I'm not sure if that's really relevant, but I guess we can make it relevant. And I'll give you my final verdict, and I want to hear your opinions about this. Is Tinubu to be blamed for this? Let's hear this.
And perhaps knows just how well to deal with economic issues. And that's why I asked you whether or not you were disappointed.
Well, today,
do you think he has the capacity to be able to turn things around?
Today is everybody's knowledge that Bola Tinubu has no solution to the problems of this country.
Really?
If anything, well, let's see it. Let's see it if he has. I mean, the last 6 months or so, this government has been fumbling and tumbling. We have not seen any solution, not to the security situation, not to the food situation, not to the issue of jobs, even investments, where they claim to look at the value of the Naira. These, experts that he has brought to handle the central bank, you can see they are fumbling. The value of the Naira is constant. We never expected it would get this bad.
But there are those who will say, look, there are some political manipulation. There are the fifth columnist. There are those who are trying to play around this issue.
We have had this regime after regime. If you cannot handle this, why did you even come in the first place?
Okay, so this Baba here apparently is some kind of Islamic scholar, political activist, and civil society leader and thinker for Nigeria. All right, so again, just same thing I said about Body George, and like the rest of us, we're very good. We get very, very good at spelling out what the problem is, but we don't have solution, right? Including Tinubu himself, See, the expectations, we're talking about power. We talk about power here as well. Where do we start with this? All right, so we're talking about power now, okay? We're talking about so many factors at play here, okay? The last thing I want to come here and do is to be defending anybody or to be completely castigating a regime that just came into power 7 months ago, okay? Now, what I can tell you, my final take is that yes, it should be blamed for it, but not particularly in the form of blame. Accountability, yes. Whoever the president of the country is should be ready to be held accountable. So he will be held accountable, and he should be held accountable because what drives this currency is not just the fundamentals that I like to talk about, which is the major driving force, the fact that Nigeria has nothing to sell to the world. Okay, now I'm generalizing. I'm saying for the most part, net, Nigeria is not selling anything to the world. Nigeria is importing everything they consume. Yes, I'm generalizing. I'm saying majority, okay, majority of what Nigeria consumes, including food, is being imported. So for as long as you're doing that, if you're not producing in a competing world, you can expect that everything about you will get devalued. Okay, will balance accordingly. That's just the fundamentals. Now, with that being said, if a president is coming in there to claim that they know what they're doing, then they should be expected that they will be held accountable. That's just the reality. That's just the reality. So I understand what this man is saying. Okay, let me play a little bit of it.
No excuses. You applied for this job. You should know that there will be fifth columnists. You should know that there are people who will sabotage you. What are the police doing? What are the SSS doing? What are all the instruments of coercion that you have within government are they doing? What are you doing?
Would it be fair to refer to the Tinubu government as failing after just 8 months in office?
It's very clear. You don't need any analysis. It has failed to address the most essential
It's not even spent up to 1 year in office.
Yeah, but you can see clearly. And if you go back to the...
You do need analysis, okay? If you say you don't need analysis, that makes me look at you funny. Like, do you have other motives? Are you trying to incite people? We were on Shepherd News TV on Sunday. Go check that out, by the way. My my uncle, the chief, he corrected because he's a journalist, so he had to speak in Asian journalistic language. And he said, okay, maybe not inciting, maybe, whatever. The bottom line is that nobody has the solutions for Nigeria right now. The only thing we can say is that, okay, maybe Tinubu has done a poor job with regards to entering this job or this role he's taken on with very poor. He hasn't been able to inspire people a lot. Okay, when it comes to security, when it comes to economy, everything is sounding too much like promises, just a bunch of promises, just the same way he got into the office. And there's a difference between inspirational and just promises. Inspirational can still be there can be a fine line between inspirational and promises, but everything that's coming out of their camp right now sounds too much like just promises, and obviously people don't believe them anymore, right? But people voted for them. Oh no, he didn't win the election, stop the cap. Okay, everybody claims that. Okay, are we saying the elections were perfect? Of course not. Okay, it's not perfect in the United States, it's not perfect anywhere in the world, and it's damn sure not perfect, nowhere close to perfect in Nigeria. But for us to pretend like those numbers were not those, if it was completely rigged, it was an absolutely rigged situation, the numbers will not be that close. So I'm looking at this comment. Somebody said all the solution this man made mention of here falls under statistics, which Peter Obi hammered on and still keeps hammering on. But now statistics will go chop. You have to do analysis. You have to. That's one of the problems in Nigeria. Nigerians are expecting somebody to come in and perform a miracle, and that's not going to happen. You're going to have to access the resources that Nigerians have right now, which is still a lot, and what's possible. And part of that equation is a leader who is also able to sell some level of hope that people can believe while they're working on things. And I don't think Tinubu is doing a good job at that either. Okay, because the national emotion is also a big part. Somebody says after 8 months in office, go and check UKPM, see how long they last in office when them sabi waiting them they do. 1 month of fumbling, then they don't sack you sharp sharp. Yeah, that's why I'm also concluding that yes, Tinubu is to be held accountable. There's a difference between holding accountable and blaming. And many people don't know the difference. That's going to be a major part of this conversation today. There is a difference between holding accountable and blaming people. You can't blame Tinubu, okay, unless you mean holding him accountable. Then we can agree on that. But if you mean blame just because you're looking for someone to say it's your fault, that's not going to work, because that's exactly how we got here. We need to do a little bit more analysis and getting in our emotions, okay? Someone said impeachment evidence shows Biden met with many of Son's major. I don't know what that is. Truly, the Northerners suddenly found their voice. It must be biting them very hard now. It's showing a journalist or an APC member. That's the person that's clearly watching just a clip. Is getting him to talk. That's what they do. Statistical Gocha, why is this man saying he should talk about figures? Let me play the end of it.
The Constitution, the very purpose of government is the welfare and security of the people. Where is the welfare? Where is the security? Where is the future? All this talk about hope, people have turned it to say, it's not a new, a revived hardship. They are moving from one hardship to worse hardship that they are facing now. And it's very clear. And I have not seen the solution. Most of the things that they have spoken about are no solution.
Dr. Bugaji,
they don't seem even the idea of exactly where to go.
And the president will say, look, we're making some policies that will call.
The bottom line is that it's going to take some time, and and I understand if the nation is running out of patience. Nigeria has not hit rock bottom yet. Okay, it might feel like rock bottom, but it's clearly not rock bottom, because now that Naira has gone to 1,700 Naira, people are still paying and still, this. But many people are hungry too. So I don't want to be insensitive in that respect. That's not my intentions. I just want you to see things as what they are. If Nigeria are just contemplating on protesting, then they're not there. Once they start protesting, then they're getting closer. But I think they're getting closer and closer. I think people are struggling. I think majority of the nation are struggling. And I think the elite have no idea what is coming for them, because eventually it's going to be bad if they don't do something and they don't start learning how to talk to the people. Because part of the reason why the 1,700 Naira is going up is because everything is getting more expensive, and it's like a vicious cycle. I want to know your thoughts on this. What do you think? What are your opinions on this, right? Disagree with me, talk with me, have a conversation with me, rub minds with me, because I do want to continue this conversation. Okay, this is, again, Power Talk right now, and this is exactly what affects all of us in every aspect of life. Either we're talking about power, self, social, intelligence, relationship, all that kind of stuff. These are the mindset that's driving everything. Okay, if you can't see what this 1,700 Naira per $1 means, if you don't see beyond just your emotions, it's probably reflecting in other areas of your life. But I want to know from you, what does this 1,700 Naira mean to you personally? All right, bring it down to personal. You have my permission. What does it mean to you personally? What is your personal opinion and interpretation of what this means? Is this sustainable? Can Nigeria sustain this for another 1 year? What has to happen? What is your suggested solution? All of us get too good at spelling out the problem, but we don't really come up with solution. We just want to blame the obvious, which is like a Tinubu or the pastors, or at some point we have to hold ourselves accountable as a people, right? So what's your suggested solution in this respect? All right, so do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, and that way you're notified whenever we go live. I'll be back in about 20 seconds.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.